Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough that I'd like you guys to meet. This here is Caesar McGee III, a cornerback out of Northwestern State. They're down in the Louisiana area. So nice to have you today, buddy.
I appreciate you for having me today.
Sure thing, man. Want to get a chance to know this guy. Possesses really good size, athleticism, has a lot to offer at the professional level. But I kind of want to get a chance to know about you and your story. Let's start at the very beginning, man. How long have you been playing this game of football?
Well, I started playing football around the age of 7, I want to say. You know, I know everybody usually starts off at like 5 and 6, but I really wasn't into football that much. That's so I was into basketball. I'm more of a basketball junkie, I would say.
Gotcha. So growing up playing basketball, who'd you idolize as a basketball player, man? Like you got a particular game or something, or team?
I wouldn't say necessarily I idolize after anybody, but I would say I'm more of a defensive and shooter. Typically, growing up throughout the years, I will always be checking the best player. If the ball it was on our side, I would have it in the clutch. So I say it's kind of all over the place as far as defense and offense.
Sure, sure. What I'm really trying to get after is, are you Kobe, LeBron? What's your guy? Who's your guy? Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
If I had to pick out all those, I'd say LeBron. It's my goat right there. I had to say.
Hey, that's all good. Just wanted to get that out of the way, and then go back to our football stuff. So, basketball player for a good long while, along with some football. Of course, did that during your high school days. Did some track and field during your high school days. They're in Saint Augustine High School in New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
Talk about your days down there. If you have any memories from your high school days that you kind of want to chit
I
chat
think
about.
I have too many memories from high school days.
All right.
So
Well, we
I
only have
mean,
so much time, so give me at least
yeah, I
one.
mean,
One good one.
well, St. Augustine High School, is the only black all Catholic male school in the world. So I had to start with that. But I mean, going into my freshman year there, I played on the freshman football team. Sophomore year, I didn't play football because I started focusing more on basketball. I was on varsity my sophomore, junior, and senior year there at St. Augustine High School. Helped lead us to the state title game my junior and senior year. So that was pretty cool for me. But I know it's football, but I really wasn't a football junkie at the time. I gave up football trying to pursue basketball as I was playing on the EYBL circuit. One of the top circuits in the country with some of the top hoopers. I played against Zion, LaMelo Ball, Kate Cunningham, all the guys who are in the NBA now. So um, my junior year, we had a few incidents happen, so we were short a few players on the team. So the football coach reached out to me and asked if I want to come back to football, and I said, yeah, of course. So I ended up playing safety and corner there at St. Augustine High School my junior year. Was one of the top defensive backs my junior year there, and then
Mm.
life being life, it was another incident happened my senior year. We had one of my best friends, Kai Matthew. He had an incident where he had got shot, and one of my other best friends, Josh
Mm.
White, had broke his wrist. So we were down two starting receivers. So I ended up moving back to the offense side of the ball my senior year, and I was also a return specialist, and finished the season as the top returner in the state of Louisiana.
Interesting. Caesar, you chatted through a whole lot there. Some of which is obviously, unfortunate set of circumstances, of course. Dude, I know you've been through a whole lot of challenges and hurdles in your life. And one of the things that I kind of want to chit chat about is, when I tried to search your name, it wasn't really the first name that you had been given. You had actually changed your
Mhm.
name. So, can you talk through that just a little bit, if you don't mind, just so that people
Yes, sir.
understand?
I said, well, I mean, going into college, like I said, I was one of the top returners in state my senior year. I did okay at receiver, but it grabbed the attention of a few coaches, top tier programs. And originally, I was committed to Florida State my senior year, But when they came to giving me all my paperwork and stuff, one of my coaches at my high school at St. Augustine wanted me to go to Tulane to go there and play cornerback. But I mean, I told him, my mind was set up on Florida State, and I had to leave school and had to handle a situation with my godmother at the time because she started developing dementia. So as I left school to go handle that, Florida State came, and my coach told the coaches from Florida State that I was planning on flipping the next day to Tulane. So they ended up taking my offer on the spot. So next day came, I had nowhere else but to come here to Northwestern. So I say that kind of shot me down a little bit. And then going to my freshman year here was also COVID. So at the time, freshman going into college on top of that playing football, having coaches telling me that they were gonna have my back, and then I mean they find a new job my first week on campus. So I was going through a lot, and I really feel like I didn't have anybody on my side. So I started going through a lot of mental troubles, I would say, and I was battling a few demons for probably like 2 years dealing with that. Once I finally got all that taken care of, um, I was still playing receiver at the time, of course, and we had a guy by the name of Javon Antonio. Ended up leaving to go play for Colorado Buffs, and then he's with the DC Defenders this past year. But we had a pretty stacked receiver group there at the time, so it'll be my redshirt freshman year. And I was mid-season freshman All-American, so I was doing pretty good at receiver, but I say our offensive coordinator at the time would rather get the ball to a guy who has a potential of going to the league instead of a guy who, we could just get him on the freshman All American list. So I say towards the end of that season, after I finished that season up, that it started messing with my head again. I started to think that I wasn't good enough to play receiver. So I was really ready to just quit football and just give it all up and just become a regular student. And I talked to my coach and I said, well, I'm starting to lose the love for the game. So I wonder if it's something that could get that love back for me. And I ended up switching to cornerback. And at the time, that's what my dad played before he passed. So I wanted any accolades that I was to ever have in life, any accolades that I was to ever have in football. I wanted that to be for him. So whenever you type in my name, it's his name.
Interesting. So, formerly Jaheim Walters,
Yes, sir.
and now we are looking at Caesar McGee the third, uh, corner who I feel possesses a lot of traits that a lot of scouts would really like to have in their secondary. Um, of course, made your way there to Northwestern State, originally a wide receiver, and then you end up, playing corner.
Mhm.
Some really good size as a corner. So I mean, like, I don't know exactly what kind of went into the fact of you switching positions, but the thing is like as a corner, you've got a lot to deal with. You have a lot going for you is essentially what I'm trying to say as a corner with your size and athleticism.
Mhm.
So, um, talk about you as a defensive back. What do you feel? Really, how do you define yourself as a defensive back?
Um, I would define myself as kind of a bump and run corner, because I feel like I have elite speed running a 4.36 laser time. I feel like that I'm a really lengthy cornerback, and just the fact that I used to play receiver, uh, I get to catch on to my opponent's tendencies a lot easier than most other DBs. So on top of that, with how much film I usually watch, is I feel like I can get a hand of that route tree a little bit quicker than most others can.
Gotcha. Again, really good size corner, 6'2", 195. I know there's a lot of teams in the NFL who would love to have a corner of your size in their program. Um, Talk up that defense there, if you don't mind, at Northwestern State. Talk about the people around you and specifically that secondary.
Yes, sir. Well, we lost a few pieces last year up front in the trenches in our linebacker room, but I feel like we made a few improvements in that room. With a few transfers that have came in. So we have a guy by the name of Elijah Sims and Preston Hickey. Elijah came from ACU. He's a big D lineman. Then Preston Hickey, a big nose guard that we got from LSU. And then as far as the linebacker room, we got a lot. Fernando Washington, linebacker from Ajuka that was here in the spring. He did really well, and I'm really excited to see what he can do next to Danny Sears. So I'm excited to watch that linebacker room this year. And then as far as the secondary, we're able to get one of my longtime best friends, actually, Kobe Cage from Southern Miss. He's be a versatile piece for us as he plays safety. We have him at box safety right now, but in a few packages we were able to bunk him down to linebacker as he's 6'1", 205, I want to say. So he's a real versatile piece that we have there. And then one of the new guys that we have coming in also is Jakarian Lathan from Texas State. Feel like he possesses the ability to play both cover safety and corner if we need. So I feel like those guys, alongside with our returners, I feel like we have a pretty good defense. On the other side of me, I say it's kind of like a carbon copy of me, just light skin. We have Antonio Hall. Same as me, lengthy cornerback with amazing speed. So I really feel like this year, me and him should have a good season. And then on the back end, of course, we have C. Will, Christian Williams, Jeremiah Kepper, Jalen Ford. We have a few good pieces back there in the back end that we could rotate.
Gotcha. So Caesar last year, obviously, you talked up a whole lot of the pieces of that defense. Last year you got a truckload of tackles. You had a few interceptions to your credit, but last season didn't really go all that great, if we're being honest. Uh, how do you feel about the results of last year, and how are you going to allow that to motivate you to go out there this year and deliver?
Yes, sir. Well, I honestly I feel horrible about last year. Not obviously not the way we wanted it to go. But we had a new coach, Coach Blaine McCorkle's first year here, trying to install a new model into the program, trying to install his own things into the program. And of course, any program with a first year head coach isn't going to do good. He has to get adjusted to the players, and also the players have to get adjusted to the new coaching staff. So I feel like that's where we fell short. As I feel like I kind of say we had a hard time meshing with our coaching staff last year, and just getting adjusted to everything. But I mean, we use that as fuel because a lot of the time, if you really look at our games last year, I say the numbers don't tell how our games actually were. I feel like coach's biggest thing is finishing and finishing strong, and I feel like that's the one thing that we didn't do a lot of times throughout the season. We had troubles finishing games and just missing contact with each other. So big thing that I've been wanting to work on this summer with my secondary is bonding. So I feel like that's what we didn't have enough of last year. So I feel like this team that we have this year is way closer than last year, and I feel like that'll help us in a lot of those close games that we had last year. But as you talk about, using last year as a fuel, I mean, everybody in the conference thinks we're a joke. So just the amount of disrespect that we had last year, from Texas A&M Commerce faking beating us by, I think they were beating us by like 20 points at the time, and they faked the knee. So that's definitely a game that we have circled on our calendar because that's just bad character right there. That's something that you don't do. But that's definitely been a lot of fuel. From teams pulling out a boombox on us on the sideline. Our strength coaches feel that, and they made us feel that this summer. So we have a lot to prove this season.
Yeah, obviously, having a winless record is really the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you guys are much better than that. It's obviously just, sometimes it is what it is. I mean, you just kind of have to, hopefully bounce back and come back, stronger this year. Um, Despite the outcome of last year, you did have a couple of games that were really good, at least for you statistically. Best game was actually maybe McNeese. You had two interceptions in that game. Can you walk me through at least one of those interceptions, if you don't mind, if you could, remember the set of circumstances?
Mhm. Yes, sir. Like I said, with me formerly playing receiver, I could catch on receiver tendencies, quick. And 9 times out of 10, when teams are in certain formations, they only run certain plays out of those formations. So all week going over it. I believe it was to the wide side of the field. They ran a condensed formation, well, doubles. Well, when I was playing receiver, we called it deuce short, as it's condensed double set, and it was kind of like a flare go, so a whiff go. So they ran that in I want to say in the first quarter on us, but they didn't throw it, and that's the only time that they got in that certain personnel was the for a deep shot. So when they came back to it, we were in cover three, but I kind of played like I was in man, trying to bait it up to get him to throw it, and he actually threw it. So I was able to go ahead and steal me one.
Gotcha. Any I don't know, thoughts about maybe, bringing you back on offense at all? I mean, I don't know, maybe, you know, long situations, certain situations. I mean, have you had any of those conversations or no?
Oh yeah, I've had a few conversations with our offensive coordinator and receiver coach. I mean, kind of seems like they're on board with it, but I'm just not sure if Coach McCork will be on board with it yet. But I'm still trying to convince them. I feel like I'll be able to help us out over there. At least 3-4 snaps a game. But they have moved me back to returner, so I am in my old position that I love right there, punt returner and kick returner. So at least I'll be able to get the ball in my hands a little bit more.
Well, did want to park there for just a little bit because I mean, I feel like special teams is where it's at for most people as they're looking to hopefully translate that to the pros.
Hmm.
And so, uh, buddy, let me know how much you're willing to, really put into your special teams, your effort, your love, favorite position, anything that you want to talk about with regards to you and your experience on special teams.
Yes, sir. Well, I had to say my favorite position. The position I play the most on special team is probably returner, but that's probably my least favorite. My favorite position on special team is probably gunner. Because like I said, I feel like I have really really good size and length, and then I feel like I have elite speed, elite caliber speed. So me being a gunner, and then I feel like I'm just able to beat anybody in front of me. Use a little bit of my receiver moves from my old days and get around the cornerback, and then hopefully go make a big time tackle that could change the game. Effort wise on special teams, if I could, I'll be on all special teams. But with me playing so much at my position, our special team coach try to hose me off a little bit. But if anybody gets tired or anything, I tell them all the time, like, hey, let me know if you don't want this rep on special teams. Like, I'm more than willing to go take it for you. Like, push come to shove, I'll go out there with an inhaler or something. Like, I'll take that rep on special teams because I feel like special team is the most important teams, like the most important thing in the game. Like more than offense, more than defense. That's where plays are made at, and that's where games are won.
Gotcha. Definitely appreciate your attitude to special teams. I know you're going to go out there this year, making some plays, whether it be on special teams or hopefully, snatching a few more interceptions this year. So, definitely going to be interesting to see what Northwestern State's going to put together this year. Um, as you had said, not to be disrespected, you guys are going to go out there and, in order to prove that you belong in your conference, that you guys are going to be competitive, and
Mhm.
hopefully get yourself in a good position, moving forward. All right.
Yes, sir.
I do want to take a moment to hopefully learn a bit more about this guy, Caesar McGee the third, off the field. So tell me just a little bit about you, if you don't mind. Any interesting fun facts about yourself other than the name change, but anything else that you want people to know, whether it be your hobbies or anything of that. So hit me with something.
Interesting fact and hobby. I say, I like Legos. Like growing up, I wanted to be an architect. So anytime my godmother or anybody asked me what I wanted, I would tell them like I want some Legos. Like I want to build something. So if you were able to walk into my house, you'd probably see a few Lego pieces scattered here and there, but especially a lot in my room. Like I'm a big architect junkie. Also, on top of that, I love listening to music. Uh, some people might find it weird, but I wouldn't say I have a favorite artist. Because I really listen to different artists depending on the day. Honestly, depending on the day and depending on what type of mood I'm in. And then for me playing on the EYBL circuit, I play in a few different states with random people. So we'll go to a tournament one week and we'll have this set of 15 guys, and next week we got a brand new 8 guys on the team. So with that, I was able to be around a lot of different cultures and experience a lot of different music choices and different music varieties from all over the country. So I say Legos and music are my favorite two hobbies right now.
All right, cool. Caesar, kind of want to throw some fun questions your way. These are kind of random questions that I put together before our interview. So, some of which we can bounce off of what you had mentioned, but some of these are also going to be pretty quick and I don't know, again, just fun. So,
Mhm.
just humor me if you don't mind. So, you a morning or a night guy? I mean, how would you say maybe like your better time of day for you?
I said I'm a morning guy. I feel like if you attack the morning, not everybody else is ready for the morning, so I get a jump start on everybody.
All right, cool. Along that line, is it bagels or donuts for you?
Donuts.
Donuts. All right. Uh, what is perhaps, I don't know, a go-to snack for you? Whether it's like a little cheat or something. What is that for you?
Go-to snack for me would either be pinwheels or granola.
Okay, okay. Some
Yes.
granola ain't that bad though. I mean, I
Yeah,
was
you
thinking
get a
more
little.
so like a not so healthy thing, but I mean, I get
Yeah,
you.
I kind of stay away from sweets.
Hey, good for you. You know, I applaud you for that. So, um, let's see. You had mentioned Lego, so like, I was thinking, along the lines of, you as a kid growing up. You're maybe, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. You're sitting in front of the television. What's your cartoon of choice back then?
Finishing third.
Anis and Ferb,
Yeah.
nice. Love that one even still. That one's a good one.
Yeah.
Um, favorite home cooked meal.
Favorite home cooked meal would probably be crawfish pasta.
All right, nice. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, you're in New Orleans. I'm pretty sure you like a little bit of that cuisine down there.
Hmm.
So
Either
appreciate
that or
that.
some red beans. Can't go wrong with the red beans, man.
There you go. There you go. Let's see. Are you much of a superstitious person? Is there maybe perhaps like a pregame ritual or something that you kind of have to put yourself through to get your mind right, or what?
I wouldn't necessarily say a pregame ritual as for pregame. I mean, I follow the same routine, but I wouldn't say it's nothing out of the ordinary. But I am superstitious about some stuff. I feel like if I do something, I have to do it more than once. So, I take a sip of my Gatorade, I feel like I have to take 2 sips or something's not going to be right. Like if I drop something, I gotta drop it again just to make sure everything's even. So everything I do, I try and do it twice.
Well, as I was researching more about you, you had actually broken a school record at your high school, which once was Teron Matthews, that being a high jump record of I think it was like 6'1", that you had. Um, I don't know if maybe he was a guy who you really, looked up to as a player at the next level, but any guy right now who you're looking at the next level, especially with him now stepping away this season, who's doing it at the top at the elite level this year?
I'd probably say Sauce Gardner, Pastor Tan, and then keeping it in my home city, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Being with the New Orleans Saints, and I watched a lot of his games at Alabama. Um, it's a few guys. Um, gotta go Marshawn Lattimore too. Always one of my favorites to watch there right there. And then not even right now, but I like an all time guy in Darrell Reeves. I feel like I have a bit of his game in mind.
Okay, I mean, when I think of a guy like Darrell Revis, I think of a guy who might get in the other guy's head.
Hmm.
Um, do you are you much of a talker? Like when you're out there, you try and talk some smack or what?
Yeah, I try to talk a little bit, but a lot of times I like to let my game do the talking first before I say something. So I feel like if you haven't caught a pass on me by now, we're in the fourth quarter. I best believe you're gonna hear from me.
Well, here's hoping you're going to have a lot of moments like that where you're able to showcase your talent this year. and your opposition hopefully maybe not going to get too many touches. But Caesar, want to wish you all the best this year. As we wrap things up, go ahead and say any final thoughts to any of the doubters this year, any of the scouts who really want to know what you bring to the table. Close with any of your thoughts.
Oh yeah, well, for any of the doubters out there, everybody going against me and my team this year, we've had one hell of an off season, and we don't forget that. That's one thing I'll leave them with. We don't forget. We remember, and I feel like we'll put everybody on notice August 28th on our home opener against Alcorn. So they didn't have anything to do last year, but they're just in the way. And for any of the scouts out there, if you're looking for a lengthy, speedy corner, then this is your place to find them at right here.
Awesome. Well, Caesar, again, want to wish you all the best. Of course, again, we're looking at a guy with some great size, great athleticism, has a wide receiver mindset out there where he knows that ball is just as good as his when it's up in the air. So here's hoping that you bring down more interceptions this season. Okay.
I appreciate you.
Sure thing. Once again, I got with me Caesar McGee, the third cornerback out of Northwestern State. Check him out.